Fabulous. Let me get to my correct script. Not where I want to be. Here I go. Thank you. I'm falling apart here. Thank you. So good afternoon. Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. Can we get a roll call?
Robert Byrd,
Present.
Alma Cortez,
Present.
Priya Batra,
Here.
Astrid Hager,
Here.
Abigail Marquez, Summer McBride,
Here.
Brandon Nichols, Carol Sagala, Deanne Tilton Durfee, Jacqueline McCroskey, Alejandra Alvaran Moses,
Present.
Maricela Ramirez,
Present.
and Holly Mitchell.
Present.
Quorum is present.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I understand that there are no AB 2449 remote requests for this meeting, correct?
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Let's proceed with agenda item number 3. It's a report out of the board's closed session from earlier today. We'll hear from council on this item.
Yes, Chair.
Yes,
So
yeah.
for purposes of the Brown Act, there was no reportable action taken during closed session, but I'm aware you have additional comments you'd like to make during item 5.
5. Yes, thank you. All right, no reportable items. Thank you very much. Let's proceed to agenda item number 4, which is our consent agenda. And Ms. Vo is going to have to read a recusal for myself.
That is correct, Madam Chair. On item 4G, Madam Chair, you are recusing yourself pursuant to Government Code Section 84308 because you received a contribution or contributions of more than $500 within the past 12 months from Elaine Batchelor and Bruce Pollock, who are parties, participants, or agents of a party or participant in the proceeding. As such, we will be taking items A through F and then H through I first.
Thank you. Should we go ahead and is there any board member that wishes to address a consent item or pull something off of the consent agenda? Okay, seeing none, should we take public comment on the consent agenda and then we'll take the vote? Any public comment on 4A through F?
Confirming there are no public comments.
Is there any public comment on agenda items 4H through I?
Confirming there are no public comments.
All right, there's no public comment. Can I get a motion on a consent agenda items 4A through F and 4H through I?
Second.
Roll call, or can I do it through acclamation?
I'm going to do roll call for this. item.
Okay, roll call, please.
Thank you. Robert Byrd,
Yes.
Alma Cortez,
Yes.
Priya Batra,
Yes.
Astrid Hager, Summer McBride,
Yes.
Carol Sagala,
Yes.
and Holly Mitchell.
Yeah.
Motion is passed.
Thank you. Do I have to step out or can I just sit here and
You
not?
can sit here.
Okay, so I will ask Vice Chair if you will manage the discussion on item 4G that I had to recuse myself from.
Okay. And there are already established no comments, no public comments on 4G.
Confirming there are no public comments on item 4G.
Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Roll call? Yes,
Yes.
seconded by Commissioner.
Thank you for that. Robert Byrd,
Yes.
Alma Cortez,
Yes.
Priya Batra,
Yes.
Astrid Hager,
Yeah.
Summer McBride,
Yes.
and Carol Sagala.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Thank you all. Commissioners, based on our need to try to keep today's agenda as brief as possible, I'd like to move that we continue agenda items 9, 10, and 11 to either the August or October regular board meeting dates. Items 9 and 11 are informational items, and item 10 is a scheduled meeting break. Do I have a second for that motion?
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Vogt, please call the roll.
Robert Byrd,
Yes.
Alma Cortez,
Yes.
Pia Batra,
Yes.
Oscar Hager,
Yes.
Summer McBride,
Yes.
Carol Sabella,
Yes.
and Holly Mitchell.
Yes,
Motion is passed.
I hear it. Can someone, one of your security guards just kind of go out and check and just give us an assessment? Because if we need to adjourn sooner, just so we have information about what's happening in the
Thank you, Jasmine.
community. Yes.
Good stuff.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does, and it sounds. Thank you for that. Colleagues, let's move on to agenda item 5, which is remarks from your chair. So good afternoon. Let me begin by expressing my deep appreciation for your continued dedication and courageous leadership. It's in a time marked by civil disobedience, uncertainty around immigration policies, and the evolving needs of our youngest children and their families that your steadfast commitment has never been more critical or more encouraging. And again, I thank each of you for your service to the county, its children, and this commission. Needless to say, these aren't easy days, but it's in moments like these when communities are shaken and families are seeking hope that we as leaders must shine the brightest. So you're the ones who hold the line, who carry forward the vision of equity, dignity, and care for every child, regardless of their background, birthplace, or zip code. I hope that we will all remember the decisions that we make here today are not just policies and programs, they are a reflection of principles and values. To stand strong for the vulnerable, to remain rooted in justice, and to move forward together, even when the road is uncertain. So I thank you for showing up and showing out. And I thank you for leading, and I thank you for standing firm in hope, unity, and action. I'd also like to just share with the public that we as a board have heard from our president and supported the vision and plans for the next year of her performance, that we as a board conducted an annual performance appraisal, as we do every year. Again, let me thank the board and the executive committee for the time you take to go through that process. And I just want to acknowledge publicly what the board communicated to the CEO as a result of that process. The board recognizes and appreciates your leadership of First 5 LA to help the board address the organization's significant financial challenges. Completing the forward-looking sustainability framework and long-term financial plan clarifies the relationship between First 5 LA's fiscal realities into alignment with our long-term goals and provides a roadmap toward the community outcomes we seek. This work was accomplished with transparency, accountability, and trust. The board appreciates your efforts to bring stakeholders, staff, and the board together to find unique solutions. Despite the challenges posed by decreasing revenue and political uncertainties, you have kept the organization focused on achieving systemic changes and policy wins, always rooted in equity, community voice, and fiscal responsibility. The culture of accountability and innovation you are building is making a difference for the organization's impact. You also were able to achieve program continuity and achieve real measurable progress. The board commends your efforts to strengthen the relations between staff and the board and within the board itself. Your proactive efforts to keep all board members informed and heard are recognized and appreciated. Board communications from staff are improved and effective, and you and staff have been welcome to suggestions and ideas. And so I just, just want to acknowledge to you that your overall evaluation score was, I'm looking for the language, exceeds expectations, I think is a good summary. Again, thank you to the board for all of your thoughtful time and input in doing the evaluation. And just wanted to make sure that you were aware of our ultimate decision and results. Happy Father's Day to all of those who who are fathers and father. We appreciate you. Want to thank our board colleague for these amazing, I've already put mine away, Juneteenth fan, and any opportunity I get to just clap the fan, there it is. Thank you very much, because as we're talking about freedoms, that's what Juneteenth really is, a celebration of freedom. And so I think for me this year, in particular, it's an important date, an important part of our American history to acknowledge. Because if we know our history, one would argue we wouldn't be making the same mistakes. So I think that's important. And I also wanted to acknowledge that June is National Safety Month, the annual month of observe and to prevent injury and death. Any questions of me in the chair's report? Any comments on the chair's report from the board? Thank you. Any public comment on agenda item 5?
Confirming there are no public comments on this item.
I appreciate that. That's a receive and file. Let's move on to agenda item 6 and let's hear from our president and CEO.
Thank you so much, Chair Mitchell. Really, really appreciate the feedback and partnership and pushing First 5 LA to really be impact, equity, and think about our sustainability. So appreciate you. Folks, you all heard the sort of sirens and some additional noise outside in both celebration, hopefully. We're hearing from the team, thank you, John, that it's 3 protesters at the 101 overpass. So as the chair mentioned, we're going to keep everything shorter because we want to make sure that we focus on the budget, because it is the budget that will get us to what communities will need really, really immediately. I'm going to keep my comments really, really brief. We were supposed to come back to the board and give you an overview of Nancy Stroll's summary of what you all shared. We have long notes about that. We're going to put it in a memo instead and share some of that, and then put it, bring it back August or October to make sure that we're sharing it publicly. But in light of what's happening, we want to make sure that we're focused on making sure that we have time to get your input on the budget. The one thing that is really important to recognize is the people at First 5 LA, and she's going to hate that we're doing this. But we want to recognize Jamie, who will be transitioning. She's heading back hometown, Monroe, North Carolina, to begin a new beautiful journey related to clinical mental health counseling. Yes. Jamie has been with First 5 LA since 2018. She has carried cakes for people coming down here. She's often behind the scenes, really quick to respond to all of you. She helps us prepare, of course, in partnership with Linda and Hannah. But Jamie, your quiet strength, you are brilliant. You are so warm. You are always making sure that others are taken care of. And this is a career path that is so perfect for you and so needed during these times. So we want to recognize you and wish we had more people here to celebrate with you. But you have been instrumental in making these meetings happen and making us all always feel included and responded to. So we will start by having Molly share a small gift, and then I will turn it over to Linda, who will, I'm sure, no crying, Linda, no crying.
I'm gonna try. The board is okay with me just turning this around and just addressing Jamie.
Okay, I'll try to make this as quickly as possible, but I feel like Jamie needs this time. So today, Jamie, we are here to say farewell, to celebrate you, someone who has been a steady, thoughtful, and deeply valued part of our First 5 LA Board Relations team. So you joined us, as you know, Carla mentioned, back in 2018 as a temp, and few of us could have predicted just how central you would become and become such a rhythm and heart of First 5 LA and board relations work. By 2019, you were on full-time officially, and you've helped support us through countless agendas, board packets, tight turnarounds, and more meetings than we can even reasonably remember. Because back in the days, we had meetings 4 times a month before, I think most of you all came here. Carla, you were here. And you know, this week, Jamie, our city is once again bearing witness to the urgent need for justice, humanity, and compassion in how systems treat people, particularly immigrants and families. And in the middle of that, it just feels especially important to recognize the kind of quiet leadership and principled commitment that you have brought to this work. You've shown us how to move with integrity, how to keep things grounded when everything around us feels uncertain, and how to support a mission that's about more than just the next deadline. It's about people. So I'm a big Netflix fan, and I know some of us on the board are, you know, Summer and I and Dr. Bird, we've shared shows that we should watch. And there's a line from a show called, from Netflix, it's called When Life Gives You Tangerines, that says, life can start off a bit sour. It's challenging, unpredictable, but with care, commitment, and time, it sweetens. I feel like that resonates with your journey here, Jamie. You've entered quietly, you've learned quickly, and you soon become someone we all leaned on. Not just because you are capable, but because you are deeply intentional in how you showed up for the team. I'm gonna start to cry. It's through these moments and tight timeliness that you've brought calm, and through complexity, you've brought order. And in times when our work intersected with the real struggles happening across LA, you carried it all with grace and integrity. So while it's hard to say goodbye, we're also incredibly proud of you, Jamie. You're leaving to pursue your graduate studies, and wherever you go, we know that you will continue to lead with the same values that led you here to First 5 LA. Jamie, thank you for your strength, your care, your integrity, and mostly for all the unseen things. We know you do so much more than we all see here. Just wishing you all the best. And may it be may it stretch you in all the right ways, and may you always reflect on the values, as I mentioned, that brought you here in the first place. We're gonna miss you. For that. I've worked with 2 other people who have supported me with board work, and 1 other person left 6 years ago. And I've been here for 13 years, and Jamie's the 2nd person.
I'd like to make the official request that Ms. Vo speak at my retirement or my memorial service or whatever happens to come first. Ms. Vo, do you commit to come speak?
In there.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
And finally,
Please.
to wrap this up, they did give me a chance to take the podium as well. Love coming after Linda, so apologies if I lose my cool as well, but thank you both so much, Carla and Linda, for the kind words. And yes, the rumors are true. I am going to be leaving. This is my last board meeting with First 5 LA. I'm currently packing up my life here and heading back home to North Carolina. Sorry. Whew. Being immersed in this work since 2018 and witnessing the unwavering dedication of my colleagues and our board members to the children and families in LA County has been awe-inspiring, especially during such uncertain times. From the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 to the LA wildfires and civil unrest we're dealing with now in 2025, it has been quite a wild ride here at First 5 LA. But I'll always be thankful for the transformative time I've had here in Los Angeles, but especially the time that I've spent working with our Board of Commissioners in support of such a noble cause. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't give my deep appreciations to my partner in crime, Linda Vo. Words can't describe how much I value Linda's leadership, her guidance, her professionalism, and ultimately our friendship. Despite the obvious height difference between us, Linda is someone I will always look up to and admire. But all jokes aside, thank you so much, Linda, for the myriad of ways in which you have shaped me as a professional and as a person. So much. I'm also extremely grateful to Hannah Jo for stepping in and assisting Linda with this important work. She's already been a fantastic addition to this team, and I'm so happy that she is able to train with me and to work with us in this transitional time. Thank you so much, board members, my fellow colleagues, for all of the support and kindness over the years. I'm eternally grateful for this chapter in my life, and I'm excited for what's to come next. If you're ever in Charlotte, I am going home to Monroe, like she mentioned, it is a suburb of Charlotte. You probably never heard of it, but if you are in Charlotte, North Carolina, or anywhere on the East Coast, please let me know. I'd be happy to catch up with you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Beautiful. I think when people are emotional and sad about